Hello, everyone, and thank you for stopping by. So, this is a video I didn't think I'd be making anytime soon, but here we are. But, anyways, I'm going to be taking a break from Predecessor for a while, and I might go on by myself and play a few games, but the streams that are coming every Monday, those are going to stop for a while. And I might not make any videos on it for a while. We'll see. This could all change pretty quick. Just my mood at the moment is I just don't have a desire to play the game at the moment. And in this video, I'm going to be going over the reasons why I kind of lost the desire to play the game and just kind of some of my thoughts and feelings on the game state at the moment. But yeah, I just wanted to get that off my chest right away, is that I'm going to be taking a break from the game. And that includes all content related to the game, even though I'll be honest, the content's kind of gone away for a while now. And for those who were in my last stream last week, you'll know what I was talking about. I streamed for about an hour and I was already just done with the game. And yeah, as for reasons I'll go into here coming up soon. But yeah, let's jump right into it. So before we really get into it, I just want to say I do enjoy the game. And I think the game itself is really fun. And a lot of the things that I have issues with is kind of some of the updates that have been coming out recently. And the really big thing that's been on my mind is the community in the game. So first, let's talk about the way the game's been going and some of the new updates that have come out recently. One of the things that have been driving me nuts the most about this game has been the size of the updates. I feel like every time there's an update, there's just dumping a whole ton of new stuff on us that we really didn't ask for. They're like reworked characters that don't need reworked. And like, I just feel like I'll be playing one character and then all of a sudden that character's trash just because the developers decided to update the character and change them up, make them weak. And then suddenly some character that no one's ever been playing is suddenly broken and everybody's playing that broken character. And it just kind of, I feel like it ruins the game because you kind of have to keep changing your play style because they keep messing with these characters and changing them up on you. And it just, stuff like that's just driving me nuts. Like, for example, one of the newest big updates that they had, they reworked every single character. And like characters that didn't need reworking, they still reworked them just for the fact that they wanted to rework them. And one of the examples I will use is Morgesh. And one of the things that I hate the most when I'm playing Morgesh is when I go to ambush somebody and I go to mark them and I hit a damn minion. And that was something that they changed that I had like mixed feelings about. And any Morgesh mains will agree with me. It's nice that I can go and mark like the jungle minion, or not the jungle minion, the jungle buffs. And I can mark Fangtooth and stuff like that. But being able to mark the lane minions, the normal lane minions, it just gets in the way. 90% of my marks hit a minion because there's 10 of them and one person that you're trying to hit. And it just gets super frustrating. And I feel like that is something they can change because Chimera is like that. He can jump jungle minions, but not the lane minions. So I don't know why they don't just do the same thing for Morgesh, that make her so she can attack the jungle minions, but not the lane minions with mark ability. But I know I went off on like a tangent there, but like my whole point was that wasn't really something that anybody asked for. It wasn't anything. They just changed every single character and they didn't know what to change about her. So they changed that up and they changed a couple other things. And there's like things like with Countess, they changed her up, but she's not really anybody who, she didn't really need a change. And they buffed her dash. They gave her a dash. She wasn't really a dash before, but they changed up. Nobody asked for it. She was already broken. So why make her even more broken? And it was just because it's like, well, what do we want to do? We want to get away from Paragon, so let's change up her abilities a little bit. And it's just kind of what it feels like at the moment. And those are just two examples. I can go on and on and on. Like they changed up Grux, for example. I don't think he needed reworking. He was perfectly fine. They changed him up. They changed. Yeah, I'm not going to go on a tangent about it. They changed every single character in that update. They changed some sort of aspect, and it was just so much at one time, and it just felt like it was too much. And then there was so much rebalancing they had to do that it was just this super ambitious project. And I did say in an earlier video that they should have done like it in groups. Like, okay, we're going to rework every single carry and then get that all worked out, get it fixed, get all the bugs out of it and get it fixed and then move on. It's like, okay, we're going to change all of the jungle characters. But they just like every single character, every single one of them, we're going to change. And there's going to be this big balancing issue. We're going to have all these problems because whenever you change anything, you're going to have balancing issues. You're going to have to figure it out. And if you add too much stuff in the update, there's going to be way too much to have to work out. And the game's just kind of a nightmare. And I've learned whenever they release a new character, I can't play the game for like a couple weeks until they fix the game. Because whenever they release a new character, they make the character overly broken until like everybody's playing that person. And then all of a sudden they nerf that person, everybody stops playing them. And it just seems to be like this pattern. And like it's just unplayable because they have this broken character that just unbalanced, and the game, like I said, it just kind of ruins the game because there's one person that's overly powerful and there's just nothing you can do about it. So the last thing I'm going to talk about development wise are the new augmentations that they've released. So I think they're inherently not that bad, and it's not a bad thing for the future. But I think the game at the moment, that's not really that well balanced, and they're adding this whole new element that's going to change every single character again, where every single character is going to have these augmentations, and they're going to have to balance every single character, all these augmentations all over again, as they just updated every single character, and then they had like a couple months to figure out balancing and getting it back to a place where it's at least playable. And then now they added these augmentations that are just gonna, it's a whole new variable where every single character is gonna need to be reworked again. And it's just like seems to be this pattern where we're always having this unbalanced issue because they keep wanting to rework characters and not just do one at a time or a couple at a time. They want to do everybody, every single character, and then it's this huge project for them to try to balance the game and fix it. That just seems to be kind of the pattern, is everything they do unbalances the game, and they finally get it in a good place, and then they add a new update that just completely ruins it again. Okay, so now that we have all of that out of the way, let's talk about the community in this game. I'm going to make a bold claim here, and this might shock a lot of you, but this is the worst community of any game I have ever played. Hands down. There, I've said it. That is how I feel. Like honestly, like the people in this game are horrible. And that's not to say that there's not good people, there's not good communities out there, but like every single game that I get into, there's at least one toxic player. And Predecessor is a game where if one person is throwing, it can throw your entire game off. You can have four people having the best games of their entire lives, but there's one person that's just constantly feeding. You're going to lose no matter how well you're doing, no matter how well your other teammates are doing. If you have one person that's 0 and 10, you're just going to lose like 9 times out of 10. And again, to stop the people who are going to say it, I'll say it for you. I have had games where I've won when there's one person actually throwing. And it is possible, but it's damn near hard to do it. But now with that in mind, just realize that almost every single game I get into, I get one of two people. I get one that's actually that bad where they're 0 and 10 and they're actually trying. Or you have one guy that dies really early, gets pissed, tries to forfeit. And when you don't, gets mad and starts feeding and trying to lose quicker on his own. And a lot of times I think it's this ego thing where they think, oh, I said at the beginning we're going to lose because of our team comp, or because, oh, the jungler didn't rotate and help me this one time. So I'm going to make damn sure we lose because I don't want to look like an idiot and win when I said we're going to lose. And I know I said like adding voice chat would be like a good thing, but it is absolutely not. Like people are just super toxic on there, and like, I don't know, you can mute them, but then you don't get any call outs because they do the call outs over the voice chat. So if you mute them, you don't get call outs. And that's kind of the catcher with that. And just like for an example, there was one time I was playing mid lane and the person went for the river buff and then rotated over. And I realized what they were doing too late and warned them as they were getting jumped. And the entire game, he was just going on and on and on about how I'm always just letting him come over. I'm like, it was one time. I'm streaming. You could go back and look at my stream. There was one time I forgot to warn you, and this guy just goes on and on and on and on and on, just calling you trash because there was one time that I didn't warn him that mid lane was rotating. But like at the same time, there's a lot of times where it's like, I don't know where they're at. Like if I get jumped and die and the mid lane disappears, I don't know who to warn. I don't know that they're missing. You see my point? But people just think that you should always be like they're the main character and you need to be telling them whenever they're about to get jumped. If you're the jungler, they're the main character. You should always be jumping their side. And if you're not there for 2 minutes, you're not a good jungle. If you're helping the other side, you're not helping them at all. Oh, but like you can help them as much as you want. And if you ever go help the other lane, you haven't helped them at all the entire game. And like my point with this is like you can have as good of a game as you want. You have this great game, but you're just constantly under scrutiny from your teammates because you're not playing how they think that you should be playing. And like just stuff like that just kind of stresses me out because it's like I'm not doing what they think I should be doing, but there's a million and a half different ways to play this game. And you don't have to play the way that they think that you should be playing. And like they'll be like, oh, they'll go on and on and on about your gear that you're using, but it's like, you know what? We're playing casual. Maybe I wanted to try a new setup. Maybe I wanted to try these new cards out, see how they work. Like, it's just like, and then they'll go on because you don't pick the cards that they choose. Suddenly you're trash. You're an idiot. And they'll let you know, and they'll let you know the entire game. And it gets old. And being like a content creator, like I see a lot of new players that come into the game and people are just jerks about like new people trying to figure out the game. And it's like you'll be playing casual game and people will be saying every curse word in the book at you. Like, well, not me, like the new players, because they don't know what they're really doing. And rather than being like, you need to get these items, or you're facing a countess and struggling and you don't have tainted. You need to get tainted because countess, explaining things and like helping new people, especially when you're in casual. And you'll have like people that are just screaming at these people and like, F you, you're effing trash. Like, I try to be more family friendly with my language. Sorry about all the F and screw this or whatever, but like, it's just a lot of these people just have horrible language and just verbally abuse people just because they're new and they don't know what they're doing. And it's like, if we want to build this game up, build this community, we need to have people that are new and be friendly with them, teach them how to play the game. If the person's not doing good and struggling, teach them. If someone's struggling facing a Morgesh mid lane, look at their build and give them suggestions on ideas. Don't just scream at them. And I've said this like 100 times in videos, just like help new players. Don't be mean. Like, look at their builds, and rather than just saying, oh, you have a trash build, you're a freaking noob, just be like, okay, you know what? I see where you're going wrong. Do this. And also, you can give advice on, oh, you're behind. So hang back in the tower and get up a little bit. Don't overextend. Like, be helpful. Don't just yell at people and make them feel miserable. Also, one thing I want to add is one of my biggest pet peeves in this game is when you have somebody that's doing god awful and they're blaming everybody else on the team. And if you watch my streams, you know that the times I've crashed out in the game, it's been because of that. Your whole team will be doing bad. You'll have a carry that has like 2 kills and 10 deaths, and your carry will be like, oh, our offlane's trash. Our offlane's garbage. And it's like, have you looked at yourself? You have 2 kills and your carry has 0 assists. Or not your carry, your support has 0 assists. But it's everybody else's fault. It's not your fault that we're losing. Of course not. It couldn't be XYZ, whatever your name is. It's definitely not you. But that just drives me absolutely bonkers, is when people are putting the blame on everyone else when they're the problem. Anyways, though, this video is coming up on 15 minutes and I don't want to make too long of a video. So I'm going to try to wrap it up here. But just to kind of wrap everything up and kind of have a conclusion here. Some of my biggest problems are the updates coming out are just too big and too ambitious, and they cause a lot more problems than they're fixing, as well as the community just being super toxic. And like, I've been playing ranked only a little bit recently because like it's even worse. But like, you'll get into games and you just want to be having fun, and people are just super tense and they're yelling at you, and it's just hard to have fun when you're in a situation like that. And I just feel like the game just is losing the ability to have fun. It's becoming more super competitive, and which is okay. If you like to be super competitive, that's fine, but you don't need to be an ass about it. But essentially what it's coming down to is it's too stressful anymore to play it. Like, I'm just not having fun. And it's just like, I like to hop on a game and just relax and unwind, not get my blood pressure up and get yelling at people and having a fight with people. Like, that's just not what I want when I get into a game. And, and sometimes when I'm streaming, it's kind of funny to laugh at the other people when they're fighting, but it's just like, it's too much pressure. I get enough pressure at work. I get enough pressure in my life. I don't need pressure in my relaxing time and when I'm having fun. But anyways, I'm going to wrap up this video. Let me know if there's any games I should try out, and I am open to a new game to play on Mondays. I think tonight, I don't know when I'm going to put this video up. I might be live now, or I might be live, yesterday, depending on when this video comes out. But we've been playing Ark. The new map came out for Ascension, so that's probably what I'm going to be playing. But if you have any suggestions of games I should play, let me know. Be sure to like and subscribe, and let me know how you guys feel about the state of the game in the comment section below. Just be polite is all I ask. Anyways, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you.